And finally, after all of that football, we finally get to talk about some basketball. And the Nuggets force Game 7 against the Clippers. And I think a lot of people had the Clippers in a sweep, Clippers in 5, not much of a series. I went on before this series started and said this was going to go 7 for XYZ. Nuggets have a ton of offensive X factors, blah, 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 blah. Here we are, Game 7, second series in a row that the Nuggets are down 3-1, force a Game 7, and in that series against the Jazz, they won it. The Nuggets just love Game 7s. They had 2 last year. They had one against San Antonio, one against Portland. This year they had one against the Jazz, and now they're going to their 4th Game 7 in 2 years. And this is very scary for the Clippers, and especially how this game went was even more scary. In Game 6, the Clips were up by 10 or 12 at halftime, then only up 2 going into the 4th quarter, ended up losing the game by 13. And this has a lot to do. The Clippers are so deep. They have an amazing bench. They have a lot of people that can get it going. Nobody was getting going. Offense was not coming from anywhere besides Kawhi and Paul George. Kawhi with 25, Paul George with 33. Paul George had an amazing game. It's really awesome to see him showing up in the playoffs. It's a little streaky sometimes. Some games he'll just disappear. But Paul George needs to show up in this Game 7. Well, the Nuggets were way more well-rounded. Nikola Jokic had 34, Jamal Murray had 21, Gary Harris had 16, Michael Porter had 13, Monte Morris had a very quiet but very, very momentum-swinging big 10 points. And all right, yeah, I have the Clippers winning this game in Game 7. They need Kawhi and Lou Williams to go off. Paul George has been known to disappear in the playoffs, and I think this might be a lot of pressure for him. I don't expect Paul George to have an amazing game. Kawhi, he has been in the biggest stage. He's won 2 NBA titles. He needs to step up big in this Game 7, and Lou Williams, as their closer, needs to have a better game than he did in Game 6. He needs to get them buckets late. He needs to be scoring throughout the entire game. They need to play confidently. They need to play the hardest defense they've ever played, because I really like the Lakers-Nuggets matchup. So if the Lakers want to make it, they're really rooting for the Nuggets right now. But I think the Clippers are just the better team overall. I think they will... This is really hard. Because the Nuggets do show up in Game 7s. They've won the last 2 games to force a Game 7, but I have to go with the Clippers. I think Kawhi is going to get it done. I think Lou Will is going to get it done. Nobody predicted this to go 7 games. I did. Like, comment, subscribe.